Hey, it's Dr. Kate Walker. Welcome to my Thursday 30 Facebook Live. Good to see you all here. And today I'm going to keep going with this theme of April Fools doesn't make us April Fools, right? We are in the middle of a pandemic. We've had to change our businesses in ways we never could have imagined that we would have had to have changed them before this. And so I've been thinking a lot about this because it's causing us to do some real paradigm shifts in how we look at our potential clients, how we make sure our potential clients can find us, how we make sure that we're serving them to the best of our abilities. And so we've spent a lot of time, I think, talking about things like technology and accessibility. Hey, Carolyn. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Dave. Hey, Linda. Good to see you. So we've talked a lot about how to make sure that we're making an amazing experience for our clients, that we're making sure that we're seamless and we're helping them find us. And, you know, even though that they've relaxed HIPAA, we're making sure that we're not going to let anything go, right? We're doing the best we can with our HIPAA. We're protecting our clients' health information. And so, hey, Angel, good to see you. We've got our ducks in a row. So just because it's April, it doesn't make us fools. And remember what I always tell you guys, right? This is your fault, right? You wanted to do this. You had the calling to be a counselor, and here you are, and you are too important to lose to things like COVID, going out of business, going broke, burning out, and giving up, right? Hashtag counselors don't quit. I love doing that. Hashtag counselors don't quit. Oh, and then I bumped my microphone. So, hey, Jennifer, thanks for watching. So let's review, right? We're not April Fools. We talked about we've got to vision it. If you haven't recreated your vision board for this COVID world, you need to do it. It's time, right? A lot of us, in fact, I created a poll in our Badass Businesses group. I thought a lot of folks would be wanting to convert to private pay after this, you know, since insurance is being so wonky and, you know, it's hard to know if we're going to get paid. Those of you who take insurance don't know what's going to happen at the end of April, how those payments are going to continue, what those contracts are going to look like for your insurance panels. Hey, Blaine, thanks for watching. Hi, Lindsay. So this is, you know, for me, I was like, oh yeah, well, obviously everybody's going to want to go to private pay, and, you know, time for Kate to create some side hustles to help you guys buy my resources to become private pay. And lo and behold, when I did the research, what did I see? A lot of you who do a mix of both are very happy doing a mix of insurance and private pay. Those of you who are doing telehealth, you want to get back to your offices, right? And I know Jennifer has talked about this a lot. You know, it's like, oh, I need to get back to my office, to my happy place, right? So it showed me what I teach, which is don't address your audience the way you think, right? So just because I think that's what I want doesn't make me meet your needs, right? Hey, Llewellyn, thanks for watching. So as a counselor, as an entrepreneur in your private practice, you know, I put it this way, like if I sell an amazing fishing pole, right? And I'm trying to sell my fishing pole to you. I could tell you about my experience and the wonderful graphite and the line and the this and the that. But really what you want is more fish. And if I come back in a week and I'm like, hey, look at all the fish you caught. And you're like, yeah, but these are minnows, right? I really haven't taken the time to understand what it is that you want. So it's a two-way process, right? So last week we talked about the 10-minute consultation. And we talked about the 10-minute consultation, how to help clients understand what they're going to get when they see you. So you can expect this, you can expect this, you can expect this. In about 2 sessions, you can expect this. And so by the end of 3 sessions, you can expect that. So if you want to know more about that, go back to a couple of lives ago. They're still posted on this page. You just have to do some scrolling. I've got a YouTube channel that I'm going to be getting up soon because, hey, it's COVID and what else do I have to do, right? We don't have any time to do anything else. Hey, Elizabeth. And so yeah, that's a great point. In my area, a lot of poverty, so taking insurance makes it easier. I'm assuming easier for people to seek counseling. And of course, right? So that makes a lot of sense. So if I marketed to you guys about in a way that appeals to me, I would be missing all of your needs. Now, you know, if you've been watching me, if you've been listening to me, I'm not talking about preaching to everyone, right? We all have a niche, right? But today, It's specifically about branding, and I dressed appropriately. So here's what I want you to know. Here's my story. So every time I go to Denver, in the Denver airport, there is the coolest little kiosk, and it's called Hippie. Be Hippie, right? So I go there every single time, no lie, and I buy a sticker, or I get a little tank top, or I might get a little, can you guys hear me okay? All right, here we go. Hey, Laura. Hey, Elizabeth. So yeah, I might get, just something from this little Be Happy kiosk because I identify with that. Now, it may be 20 years ago me, it may be 30 years ago me, back when I was a freshman at UT, right? But here I am at 54 years old, and I still want to feel like a hippie. I still want to feel that, oh yeah, I want to identify with that. So I stop at this kiosk and I donate $20 in exchange for some kind of a product like this because their brand makes me feel. I know we don't like to do that in counseling. Nobody can make you feel, right? But a brand does exactly that. And you are your brand, right? I'm going to say that again. You are your brand. So you have lots of ways to communicate to your client how they can expect, what they can expect from you, what they can expect to experience from you, right? And so I put some words up in the Badass group, and I tried to be alphabetical just because I can. And some words that I came up with are accomplishment, boldness, courage, decisiveness, equality, growth, health, and independence. Now, you and I know, right? We know there's 15 people watching me right now. Lots of people are going to watch this later. We know that all of that can be a result of the counseling process, right? And we know there's no way to really know what our clients will get from counseling, right? But here's what I understand about how we were trained, right? When you were a newbie counselor, when you were brand new in your counseling program at your school, they taught you mirroring. They taught you reflecting. They taught you about transference and countertransference. I've preached about the green screen, and one of the reasons I do the green screen in telehealth is because I want my clients to be able to project onto me what they need to project, not get focused on what's decorating my office today, right? And so I wear a black t-shirt every time I counsel on telehealth. Right? So I look the same. I'm on a green screen with a black t-shirt in session with my clients because my clients can project onto me what they need to in order to have healing, right? So we know all about this. We know that clients are always projecting or identifying, right? Transference, countertransference. That's always happening. So when you look at your brand, right? So when you go to your website, or you look at your headshots, or you look at at your logo, right? You look at how you're presenting yourself to your client. Are you projecting, so I'm going to use an outgoing word, accomplishment, boldness, courage, decisiveness, equality, growth, health, and independence, right? Is that what you're projecting? Now, think from the other side, right? Think from the person who's buying the fishing pole. Are they going to achieve boldness? Are they going to experience more accomplishment? Are they going to be more courageous and decisive? Are they going to experience equality and growth with you? Is their health going to improve? Will they become more independent? These are really wonderful values. And you do this. And how your client knows if you have that is by your brand. So the colors you choose for your website, your headshots, your logo, your color scheme, do you use really super dark colors, really light colors? Remember, that's going to be interpreted on all kinds of different levels, right? Is it more feminine or masculine? I don't know that. My client's going to have an idea though, and that goes back to your ideal client. So this is really taking the marketing from a different perspective today, right? We're taking it from the perspective of the seller, right? When my Be Hippie folks set up their kiosk, they set it up in a way so people like me who wanted to feel 20 years younger would be attracted. We'd turn our head, we'd look, and we'd say, oh my gosh, I need to find out more. Well, let's translate that for the internet, right? We need folks to click. We need folks to ask a little more. We need them to dig a little deeper. I have seen some amazing websites where you guys catch me on the very first page because I identify with either I'm a new client or I'm not a new client. Great, make me choose. I'm going to choose because that's easy for me. I'm an existing client. Click. Now I can go find Jessica and I can make my appointment. I'm good to go, right? But if I'm a new client, and there's research on this, and I don't have the numbers, I can get them, but I probably won't because I'll forget. People are attracted to how you look, or they're not attracted to how you look, right? I've got a theater kid, and we went through this time and time again with auditions. You know, kiddo, it's not about you, it's what the director's looking for, right? If you're not 5'10" and blonde hair, blue eye, and that's what the director has in their head that they need, you won't get the part. So this isn't about being all things to all people, right? The Be Hippie kiosk isn't trying to turn, well, I don't know, maybe they're trying to turn everybody's head in the airport, right? They want to make more money. But that's not you, right? We've already talked about this. You guys, oh, Blaine, what? Lots of Be Hippie. Cool. So Blaine, you get me. You get me, right? Let's feel like we're, 22 again, but without all the bad stuff. So you understand that as you're trying to do this, you have to keep your ideal client in mind, okay? So if your ideal client is someone who needs independence, is craving independence. So this is a person who's maybe they're in a bad relationship, they're in a violent relationship, they're in a relationship with an addict. And independence is something that they don't even know that they're looking for, but when they see your brand and they see your tagline, and your tagline says something like, helping you achieve independence today, right? That's going to make that client turn their head, right? And you've already done the work. I hope you have. If you haven't, we got to do another Facebook Live on finding your ideal client, and we can totally do that. But your ideal client wants to be independent. Your ideal client has read the Brené Brown book about courage and daring greatly, right? Your ideal client has gone to the gym for, every week for, a year and lost 300 pounds and lowered their diabetes numbers. So your client is seeking health. So once you decide who your ideal client is, now it's time to work on your brand. So this is the interesting thing. I was never much of a LinkedIn person. I guess I thought, well, I'm a counselor, and counselors, we kind of get a little lazy. We're like, if we build it, they will come, right? Why do I need to get a LinkedIn? You need to get a LinkedIn because LinkedIn is a lesson in building your brand. Okay. Hey, Pamela, thanks for joining. I'm glad you like that. I know I'm coming up with taglines now, right? But LinkedIn is you projecting to the world, to the professional world, who you are, right? Do you want to emphasize this on your resume? Do you want to emphasize this job? Are you going to write blogs and content about this topic as opposed to that topic? You are presenting to the world who you want to see, right? So right now I'm going to present, the Be Hippie chick, and I might have my hair down. I may, put on some makeup. Well, you know what? In an hour, I'm going to have my hair up in a ponytail. My face is going to be washed, and I will have just gotten out of the swimming pool, right? So I think hard about what I'm projecting to you because I want you to feel comfortable with me, right? So, let's look behind the curtain a little bit. When you come to me, I want you to feel like you're coming to an expert. So I want there to be a sense of safety. When you come to me, I want you to see that there are other people asking questions. So I want this to be community. When you come to me, I want you to see that we remove comments or anything that's snarky or disrespectful so that you know that this is a safe place, right? So expert, community, and safety. Those are the brand values that I'm trying to communicate to you through my blog, through these videos, through the way we moderate our social media and interact with people in it. So if you're not experiencing that, that's me not doing my job, right? I've got to go back. I've got to ask people to review my stuff. I've got to go to people that I trust, mastermind groups, trusted professionals, coaches, and say, hey, look at my stuff because this is what I think I'm communicating, but I'm not sure if that's what people are getting, right? And you guys see my whiteboards, oh my gosh, because here it is, we're in the second quarter of the year. It's time to get this going and making sure that everything is aligning and on track, right? So back to in April, we are no fools, right? So we've talked about vision boards. We've talked about what's the big problem you want to solve? Why are you here? What is your practice helping people with? We talked about backwards planning, beginning with the end in mind. Do you want to make $1 million in 5 years? Well, we better backwards plan then, right? We talked about how COVID is the plan killer, not the dream crusher. Your dream is still intact. Nobody's taking your dream away. All right, we're not going to blame COVID for being, some kind of thief in the night that's coming along and stealing your practice away. That's not the truth. The truth is you have power. You have the ability to change things, to be flexible, to maybe try things that were scary before, but now you're brave and you can do it. So COVID is not going to take our business away. We're just redefining what success looks like, removing the barriers. And right now, this is you finding out about branding. And when you leave this Facebook Live, how much time do I have? I got a few more minutes. I want you to literally go to your website. I want you to look at the colors. I want you to look at the logo. And I don't want you to spend a lot of time on that. Remember, every day you need to do things for marketing, but I don't want you to lose yourself in it. I want you to look, how many of you have a blog, right? I haven't even talked about blogs, right? So do you realize that your blog is full of words that we call keywords, right? And those keywords are going to help people find you. So if your blog is full of words like accomplishment, growth, and independence, right? Then you are going to have a blog, hopefully, right? Full of those keywords, right? Bravery, independence, accomplishment. And people who are looking for that, they'll find you, right? So this is you putting everything out there is going to be a reflection of that. Awesome, Angel. I'm so glad you blog. Yes, you have to put content out there, but we haven't really talked a lot about what that content should be. This is the start of that conversation. So in May, right? Can you believe May is already almost here, right? So I think May, what we're going to talk about is content and keywords and content, right? The summertime is usually kind of a low time for our clients. With COVID, who knows, right? We may have a huge influx, especially for those of you who are still doing telehealth. I don't know. So I will also be listening to you guys. Make sure that you're putting in the thread things that you want to talk about. I'm going to keep posting those polls so that I can make sure that I'm putting out content that's meaningful to you. So my plan is to talk about content to really make your brand robust and visible and make it just something so rich and inviting that literally everybody in the airport is going to turn their head and come by your crazy tank top, okay? So this, or at least your ideal client. Maybe not everybody, but your ideal client. So we talked about breaking down barriers. Now here's my commercial. If you are a supervisor and you are not in my Texas Supervisor Training group, as soon as this Facebook Live ends, I want you to click immediately and give me your license number so I can let you in. It's a closed group. This Monday, I've invited Nate Catano, who is the founder of Online Therapists of Texas, and he's going to be our speaker. And he's going to be talking to us about making sure that we're doing everything we can online to market our services, to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make them accessible, right? We don't want telehealth to become something for only the haves, haves and have-nots, right? So he's going to talk to us about ways we can help our interns. But if that's something you guys would like to have in this group too, maybe that's something I can start incorporating into these Thursday 30s, getting some guest speakers and things to talk to you about. Things that are going to help you grow your business, right? Because remember, you are too important to lose to things like COVID. COVID is a plan killer, not a dream crusher, right? Hey, Elizabeth, good for joining. I'm glad you're joining us. It says, yeah, Dr. Christopher Taylor talks about keywords in his book. He absolutely does. And that's so important, and it's so easy to do. You can even put keywords into the alt text in the photographs on your website, right? So here's your homework, everybody. Google brand values. Google brand values. And then I want you to go through and decide who you are. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words that you are, right? What you're selling, what you're hoping your clients get from you. Okay? And remember, this is different than last week when we talked about how you describe your services in a way that your client can understand. All right, 9:51, I'm out. Post your questions, comments, topics, future topics if you want me to cover anything else in May. Otherwise, I'm headed to content and keywords in May. This Monday, April 27th, supervisors, we are having our live virtual consultation group, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's cheap, $25, and you get 2 CEs. So 2 supervisor CEs, so you need to join. I think that is it. All right, guys. Have a great day. Remember, hashtag counselors don't quit.